Falstad always good on this battleground. Dahaka always good on this battleground. Pretty heavy Hogger emphasis in these drafts this evening. Alright, so Brightwing still available. We still have Falstad available, so we've got a couple globals to choose from. Of course, Johanna, always a solid grab. I like the Anubarak pickup. We saw Valkyrie on it last game as well. Looks like a very comfortable hero for them, and applies a lot of potential gank pressure to these side lanes. Alright, so wave clear galore on the side of Team 3. And they still have 2 DPS to choose from. Who do I want to ban if I'm in Anubarak? I want to ban Greymane. Tracer's also a good ban. Pesky auto attack damage that just keeps following you. There's the Blaze ban. I'm interested to see what we get in the off lane this time round. Lots of options still available, of course. We saw a Samuro ban in Game 1 of Block 1. I don't know who that was targeted at. Oh no. The Malthael Ana combo, you gotta grab the Falstad at this point, right? Like, Gust OP into that combo. The nano boosted Tormented Souls doing crazy amounts of damage, so just being able to leave is a very powerful button. Trading 1 heroic for 2, gotta feel pretty good, yeah. So there's the Falstad, and a Kerrigan. Alright. Always excited to see Kerrigan. Skills picking up another melee after we saw them on Alarak last block. Last pick here for Mercy. I'm curious to see if this is an offlane or a flex pick. Malthael can serve both, so... Hanzo, alright. So let's take a look at our heroes. Not a lot of hit points to go around on the side of Team 4. So Kerrigan might be eating good. Of course, there isn't a lot of setup CC outside of the Kerrigan. They've got slows on all 4 other heroes, but Johanna doesn't have the most potent CC kit as far as main tanks are concerned. Same can be said for Leoric from the off lane. So, yeah, once again, I think a lot of the performance of Team 3 is going to rely on skills choice. I think a Cocoon onto the Kerrigan could be pretty powerful for Team 4. So let's see how it works out. We can hop into the game and introduce our teams. In the left, in blue, Team 3 of Block 3. We've got Synthesis on Johanna, Skills on Kerrigan, Killer Fairy playing Rhaegar, Smitty Werbin on Leoric, and Exyun on Falstad. To the right, in red, we've got Team 4. Artemis on Chromie, Valkyrie on Anubarak, Jed C on Ana, Mercy on Hanzo, and Rift playing Malthael. All of the vision tools that Team 4 have available to them going to be very helpful. Time Walker's Pursuit, Sonic Arrow, Time Traps, Ana being able to skill check bushes at a very low cost. So they're not going to be able to sneak up on Team 4, which is going to make it a little bit tougher for skills, I would imagine. Level 1 talents, what do we have? Anything out of the ordinary. Auto attack at level 1 for Yoon once again on Falstad, opting for Frequent Flyer. First 2 stacks of Simple Geometry for Mercy down bot lane. Checking in on the top side, Skills and Rift trading a little bit here. Combo does not connect, but Yoon barrel rolls in. Rift pops. Oh, like a balloon. But Skills, oh, they get enough shielding. 39 HP. Calculated, friends. Perfectly calculated. So first blood going over to the blue team. Both of our teams working on their bruiser camps in the meantime. Not a huge experience lead. In fact, no experience lead garnered for the blue team in spite of that takedown. What are they missing? Oh, they're missing so much minion experience. How'd that happen? That's rough. Whatever. Level 4s on both sides. Skills opting for Sharpened Blades. Gonna have to get that stacked up. Synthesis going for Subdue. The quest rarely completed, but always worth it. What else do we have? Mind-numbing Agent, Debilitating Dart, rather. There's the fly in. Waiting for the Wraith Strike before they barrel roll over, but Yoon unable to land the final auto attack. So Rift able to squeak away, tap well, get healthy again. First objective spawns right now. And blue team are well set up for this objective. Red will get some stalls. Synthesis takes a lot of damage from Artemis there. But they've got a siege camp and a global in top lane. So blue team are happy to play this one slowly. They're quite low on HP, however. And eating so much poke damage. Skills putting a little bit of damage on the Mercy there. Red have stalls for days. Level 7s on both sides here. Opting for Sins Exposed. Kerrigan sneaking up to mid lane to get a few more stacks on their sharpened blades at 4. They've also opted for Boundless Fury at 7. Smitty Werbin stepping pretty far forward here. Checking in on top lane, Rift gets the takedown onto Yoon. And so the advantage that blue lane once had now kind of swings in favor of red team. They're no longer getting that side soak, and importantly, Artemis has unlocked their heroic, slowing Sands. Johanna will get the blind for a stall. Killer Fairy eating a fair bit of damage here. There's another scatter arrow from Mercy. Yoon barrel rolls in aggressively, and a huge combo from Skills! It's a triple kill! Holy cow! The slow poking game going red team's favor for the past like minute and a half. And then the Kerrigan combo comes in. A huge swing in experience as well. They were neck and neck, and now blue team is rounding the bend towards their heroics. They'll get through this front wall with ease. They could fall back and grab a boss. I would love to see them fall back, grab boss. Well, it's too late. Whatever. Just push the fort. Oh, that was aggressive. We've got heroics. Are we going to throw any of them? Looks like we will not. Valkyrie walking out without too much trouble. Blessed Shield. Summon Ultralisk. Ancestral Healing, Entomb, and Gust. And it looks like with another bot side objective, Yoon has positioned themselves once again to try and get that split push value. Heroics on both sides for all members now. We've got Cocoon, Dragon Strike. Alright, Nano Boost, Tormented Souls, of course. And there you have it. Mercy, with their level 4, is able to get through these camps very fast. Serrated Arrows, one of the fastest PvE talents there is, as far as, you know, bosses and camps is concerned. You don't want to do it for waves. What are we up to? 60 stacks for Kerrigan's level 4, up to 19 stacks on Falstad's level 1. Smitty Werbin pushing out one more wave, put a little threat onto the bot fort. 3 of the red team have shown in mid lane, so Smitty getting a fair amount of free push here. They're going to secure a third, almost a half, of that bot fort basically for free. Synthesis gets sniffed out. I really like this passive play from the blue team. Play for a stall or 2 if you can. Synthesis, oh, they commit pretty heavily here, as does Smitty. Great stall with the Drain Hope. Kerrigan cleaning up the mid lane while blue team postures. Neither team really wants to commit heroics just yet. And Yoon on Falstad continues to push into the mid fort. This is perfect stalling from blue team. Synthesis taking a fair bit of damage here. So the global game definitely proving challenging. They've got 13s now, and Exeon in onto Mercy. They'll fall. Smitty Werbin is next, but it's going to come at the cost of a lot of red health bars. Synthesis falling low. Jed C gets taken down. Heroics all used outside of the Dragon Strike. So 5 hero takedowns in favor of, or I'm sorry, 5 hero takedowns for the blue team. This is getting weird. for a little split decision making. All right. Blue team gonna call it at a slightly less aggressive play. I think it makes sense. They got 13s and immediately started fighting. They were stalling so well, knowing that they were about to achieve the next talent tier. No reason not to take the time to build a little bit more advantage. Talent tier parity. Rift scouted out by Yoon on the bot side. Time Walker's Pursuit reveals Synthesis. It's a 5-hero commitment to bot lane. We've got almost every heroic back up. Ancestral Healing just coming around the bend here. Looks like we're a little split. Mercy set up for a Dragon Strike. And there it is. Paired with the Slowing Sands, Skills takes a lot of damage, but they're able to pop into the cocoon. Rift. Oh no, so much damage. It looks like this team fight could go either way. Skills falling very low. Kerrigan getting a lot of healing. Synthesis falling low as well. Smitty Werbin getting chased down by Rift. Rift might just kill everyone on the blue team if they're given the chance. Smitty makes it out alive. Incredible that the HP bars. Oh, Mercy gets the aggressive agility. Was it too greedy? Looks like there is no serious punish. So in the end, Anubarak, the only one to fall. 16s now in favor of our blue team. Smitty and Synthesis get started on the boss. 2 tanks. Below half HP, smacking a boss. I think we've all been there. I think we've all seen it. But Yoon just tending to that Siege Giant camp. They're going to be here right on time. What do we have at 16? Painful Spikes for Kerrigan. Pretty classic build from Synthesis, opting for Holy Renewal. And there's the Time Walker's Pursuit, so red team now know that blue are headed their way. About a half level away from 16s of their own. And as some may say, red team does not want that smoke. So they're going to give ground, sack the boss, put a lot of damage on the Smitty Werbin here. That's a lot of damage on Leoric. That is no joke. And it looks like that's going to be enough to dissuade blue team from stealing away that boss, even with Malthael showing on bot side. Instead, they'll clean up mid lane. Speaking of bot side, how are we doing? Boss isn't going to get through the keep, but it's going to be close. That's the 16 talent tier. Ooh, just about. Great Time Walkers from Artemis there. Killer Fairy gets an easy free channel. And once again, this is the big power spike for W-Build Malthael. We've seen a lot of damage out of Rift thus far. Smitty, once again, scouting a little unsafely, but Leoric can take a fair bit of punishment as long as they've got their Wraithwalk still off cooldown. Valkyrie very diligent in holding on to their burrow charge. Rift still not here. This is still 5v4 in favor of the blue team, and that's another big combo, followed up by the Entomb. Oh my goodness, it's a slaughter. Valkyrie and Mercy, the last two surviving, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Yoon gets the dismount. Do they have a barrel roll? Can they follow? A great impale, but Killer Fairy, oh, with the root totem. Earth Grasp, Earth Bind? Earth Bind, Grasp, dang. Earth Grasp totem at 16. And then Yoon, with a sixth sense, looks for Rift. Oh! Just barely misses him. He is going to be kicking himself when he gets into the replay. I tells you what. Still 6 seconds before Valkyrie is back on the battleground. Oh, Smitty taking a lot of damage here. The dragon looks to consume. And, oh. Yeah, this is a great play for our red team. They could get this boss. Oh no, Mercy doesn't feel comfortable stepping onto the point. Don't blame him. Okay, well done with the cocoon. Killer Fairy in deep. The cocoon expires just at the wrong time. Rift in deep. Oh no, it's not enough. Blue team in the end, they get the takedowns, they get the boss. Oh, it's gone from okay to bad to worse for our red team. They looked to be in a great position to contest the boss, but unfortunately, a route onto Valkyrie meant that they couldn't play for point. Hanzo had to be the one to hold it while Johanna threatened them. With those takedowns, this is likely to be game. Hanzo does have a lot of boss burn. Silence and Tomb, that's pretty big. Oh yeah, huge damage. Alright, GG's. Well played. Team 3 able to take it once again. It might just be that left side is the best side, and red side is cursed. Who's to say? Certainly not me. Alright, game 1 goes in favor of Team 3. Let's take a look at post-game stats. Everyone's favorite. Yoon, top of the charts in everything but siege damage. No, that's not true. Artemis really doing a lot of damage there, as did Mercy and Malthael, or I'm sorry, Rift. So everyone on red team pumping out the DPS, but in the end, it was their low HP pools that kind of cost them some huge combos from skills. Great setup with the Entombs and the Blessed Shields. Yeah, the quick fights did not... Yeah, it's just a mismatch of the tank and damage structure, right? Like, Hanzo and Chromie want to poke and win by attrition, and Anubarak wants to take that quick fight. So, what you gonna do? Forked drafts will happen. Anything out of the ordinary? Pierce at 16. I think Giant Slayer has become more in vogue for most folks, but Pierce still very potent. And there you have it. Game 1 of Block 3. So let's head back to our Battleground selection. Oh, that looks so scuffed. And let me get our next lobby set up so that our teams can join me. I said we'd be going to Infernal, so I will look for Infernal. Great. And let me double check that our players are on the correct sides as well. It looks like we are going to have a little bit of time, a little bit of downtime as our teams recollect themselves. Alright. And that's fine. Because that gives me the time I need to put these lobbies together. So, Valkyrie, Jedsi. Yoon needs to swap with Mercy. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for bearing with us. A little less banter in between games, but here's a little peek behind the scenes, friends. I can't talk to you and type to them simultaneously because my brain is small. Great. These teams, super duper efficient. You'd love to see it. So we're going to get into our draft very shortly. And we are headed to Infernal Shrines this time around. Hugger has been showing up in a lot of these drafts. I expect to see him here, of course. Great play on the Kerrigan means that she will not be on Infernal Shrines. I'm interested to see if the Malthael ban comes out. Pretty good on the battleground. Instead opting for Dahaka. But Malthael, Sonya, Kerrigan, all filling very similar roles of we get on point, we sustain on point. You can't push us off because we're doing damage and healing off of it. Or generating shields. Sustaining in some way. Alright, the Imperious ban felt more important. We'll see how first pick goes for red team this time round. I'll say Rift looked pretty strong on the Malthael. Gonna show the Blaze instead. Blaze, definitely the more meta choice. He's sturdy. He brings wave clear galore. A lot of area control with oil spills, which can be very important on the objective. Big ol' AoE slows that last 4 seconds. Pretty good. And you can make him slow attack speed as well. So, Leoric picked up to match into the Blaze. Of course, Blaze could be main tank. Pretty rare to see in this day and age, but it is technically possible. I suppose it's also true that Leoric can technically play main tank. Ooh, okay. Lucio and Diablo, both really strong picks for the battleground as well. There's just lots of terrain on Infernal Shrines, so both of these heroes that benefit from having terrain near them really shine. Lucio also a menace in interrupting enemy rotations in the early game, given how slippery he can be. There's the Chromie ban. Augur's still on the table. Augur works perfectly well as a flexed hero. And play them outside the offlane for sure. So a little bit surprised to see the Chromie ban instead. Maiev ban. I believe that's a synthesis hero, if memory serves. Johanna's available once again. Yep. And so back to Joe Jail you go. It's about time. Makes perfect sense. Diablo and Blaze, two of the highest HP pool heroes in the game. So having some additional percent damage to add to the Leoric will help. I wonder what oddball pick we're going to see out of skills this time. Whoa! 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 Slow down. In 2025? Hammer Nova? And another Kel'Thuzad. Alright. Let's head over to this. Make sure that we're all set. Alrighty. Game 2. They've got a lot of percent damage on the side of Team 3 to deal with the meaty health pools on the side of Team 4. But, perhaps most importantly, they don't have the best tools for dealing with Sergeant Hammer. Kel'Thuzad gets Shadow Fisher. But I don't know if that matters. And last time we saw skills on the Kel'Thuzad, they opted for Frostblast instead. But with Lucio, I think Frostblast becomes kind of unpickable, right? I don't know. What do I know? I'm a plat scrub. Let's see how our teams handle these drafts, shall we? See if we can't bring it to a 1-1, or if, once again, blue team takes it in 2. We've got skills on Kel'Thuzad, Synthesis on Johanna, Smitty Werbin playing Leoric, Killer Fairy on Brightwing, and Yoon playing Tychus. Trying to get a win of their own. On the right in red, we've got Team 4, Valkyrie on Diablo, Artemis playing Sergeant Hammer, Jed C on Lucio, Rift on Blaze, and Mercy playing Nova. What level 1 talents do we have? Advanced Artillery, pretty classic. Quick couple of stacks. Thank you, Nova. And some more stacks. Why not? So, a little bit of an earlier first wave for the red team, but that's because Smitty had already broken off to the top side. Synthesis flipped over. They still have the Iron Skin, so they'll get out without too much trouble. Mercy's going to have a great time harassing Leoric throughout this game. Leo hates playing into ranged gankers. Rift getting a fair bit of siege here, thanks to Nova picking up that mid-soak. I think this is a great play from the blue team. They know that the Nova is stuck in mid lane, so they'll rip through the neutral camp ASAP. After an initial quick stack count, we're stuck at 7 stacks of Master of the Cold Dark for skills. Level 4s on both sides. Artemis opting for siege tactics, so granting them unstoppable every time they armor up. Oh, Mercy. Revealed here. Oh, this Nova's dead, right? Yeah, great body locks too. First blood going over to Team 3. What else do we have at level 3? Ah, opting for Paralyzing Rage rather than Kneel Peasants at 4. Interesting, interesting. And just because whenever Kaldor talks about this talent, he's like, I don't understand how Paralyzing Rage makes sense. That's... when I get angry, I don't... I mean... So the thing is, if your opponent is the one with the rage, maybe it's not you who's feeling the rage and being paralyzed, but like, because the slow is on your opponent, right? So like, oh, too busy shit-talking an EU broadcaster to miss the takedown onto Leoric. Smitty will be back shortly. That is the benefit of Leoric. Oh, Smitty spawning in the middle of the red team. A little bit of a weird spot to find themselves in. Rift completely out of mana here. Valkyrie falling low. Mercy continues to pepper in these snipes. A great phase shift will get Smitty back up to full HP. Well, not full, but certainly healthy enough. So another 2 takedowns for our blue team. It'll secure level 7s, and Killer Fairy wants to get this Bruiser camp as well. Respawn timer's still pretty low at this stage of the game, so this might be a little greedy. Yeah, they're really slow on this camp. I don't know. Okay. Red team will not scout it. Exune laying into Valkyrie here. They've used their Shadow Charge already. Phase Shift comes in onto Synthesis. And it's a Frozen Punisher. Alright. I mean, Artemis, definitely the sort of hero that you would want for the long-range, safe objective clear, but Frozen Punishers can be rather powerful. Artemis continues to be the target here of John Cena, down below 1,000 HP. Looks like oh, Shadow Charge onto Killer Fairy there. Synthesis draws the Fort aggro. Killer Fairy very low as well. Jed C with the speed boost is going to be able to chase down the rest of the blue team. Yoon down to about half HP. Skills is going to escape, but Killer Fairy might not be as lucky. Lucio chases him down. Few more stacks. Oh, great grenade from Yoon. And a perfect time on the dash to avoid the overpower. Even so, takedowns that I think Team 4 are happy to secure for themselves, evening out the race towards the heroic talent tier. They're still trailing on hero XP a little bit, but they've got more minions. And they weathered that first objective relatively well. Only about a quarter of their mid-fort missing, in addition to the wall, of course. But that's heroics online for blue. What do we have? Shadow Fisher makes sense into the hammer. Smitty catching some in the Entomb, but well far ahead of the team here. Skills has to run away from Mercy. Great Lightning Breath. Yoon falling low. Killer Fairy! Yeah, there's the flame stream from Blaze. Oh, great follow-up with the jet propulsion. Synthesis and Yoon will make it out alive. Smitty engaging really far ahead of the rest of the blue team. So it ended up being a pretty split-up engagement. Not too much got used. We saw Precision Strike and Lightning Breath, but blue team will have their heroics for the next fight. Especially with Entomb on such a short cooldown. Covert Ops at level 4 steals away the top Bruiser camp. Just going to apply a little bit of passive pressure onto the top fort as it kind of proxies the top wave. 4 versus 3 here. Another few stacks. Oh, a lot of damage on the Valkyrie. There's the takedown. They use the Blessed Shield to secure it. Black Soulstone had already finished. So, Diablo back on the field, though a lot more vulnerable now. Pinning shot onto skills. Valkyrie does not get... Oh, great Entomb catches the Diablo. They're going to rip the Lightning Breath. Means they can't get into the bunker here. Smithy Werbin spooks back in, but they're going to eat a giant jet propulsion. Oh, that's another takedown. Killer Fairy as well. Mercy chasing onto Synthesis. Dealing a lot of damage with Snipe at this point, thanks to their level 7 perfect shot, as well as... Oh, Precision Sniper, they just lost all their stacks. It's so sad when they lose all their stacks. But what do you need stacks for? You've got level 13 talents. Valkyrie getting a big power spike for the W build now with Hellfire. In addition to all of the healing that they can do, getting amplified, their Lightning Breath damage is going to be a lot spookier if those choke fights continue to happen. Choke point fights. Choke fight sounds like a little bit of a different evening, you know what I'm saying? Okie doke. Arcane Punisher. There's no wall. Great use of the Iron Skin. And this is, I thought, why you pick the Kel'Thuzad into the hammer, right? Like, you just rip Shadowfisher off CD. Rift in on the side here. They'll draw the fort aggro. There's a lot of damage from John Cena. Oh, interesting. Rift did not opt for Collision Course at 13, instead going for Adhesive Petroleum. Not the most common level 13, to say the least. So top fort falls. About a half-level lead for our red team now, thanks to their hero takedowns. They've also got more minion experience, fair enough. I have not been paying attention to the precision strikes, so yeah. Yeah, we're global precision striking. Once an offlaner, always an offlaner. You can take the offlaner out of the offlane, but you can't make him stop killing minions, you know what I'm saying? About a half level away from level 16, but red team continues to position aggressively nonetheless. Yeah, they gotta get out of here. This is the fight that blue wants more than anything else. I like the idea of posturing around here as much as possible to try and let top lane build pressure with that catapult, but they don't have that many tools. Wow, lots of damage onto Yoon here. It's going to draw the phase shift from Killer Fairy. They have opted for Hyper Shift, so a fair bit of CDR available. Synthesis scouting Rift on the side there. And with Napalm Strike, Artemis is going to get through this fort, especially down 16s. Blue team cannot step up safely. Mercy just being a menace on the Nova. We've already got all of our stacks for Master of the Cold Dark, so that's really more of a I see you and less of a quest progress. But we've equalized on the talent tier. W build for Leoric, so Drain Hope, getting cooldown reduction, and doing a chunk of percent damage. Of course, Rift does have a tool for that, thanks to their level 16. Great Entomb finds the Diablo. but they pop the spell shield. They're going to live through all of this without any trouble. Big damage from Smitty means that that's another takedown onto Diablo. They'll respawn thanks to their Soul Stone. Huge slows, but the Unstoppable still available. 2 takedowns for the blue team right before the objective spawns as well, so Mercy won't be back up to contest here. Blue is getting a little split from each other. Yoon and Skills not alone down here, but I don't know, guys. I feel like a Diablo who's been out of vision for that long is pretty spooky. Maybe that's why I'm no good at the video game, though. Playing too cautiously in those moments. Alright, massive monkey lead for blue team. Synthesis trying to zone. They'll eat the Shadow Charge, but they've still got Iron Skin available. Top camp pushing means that Smitty Werbin has to hearth back to deal with it. We can see Mercy headed straight for this bruiser camp. It's going to be to get through most of, but not all of. And that's important. I mean, Diablo died too. That's also important. But because they didn't defeat the mercenary camp entirely with Bribe, they are still able to steal it without giving it a reduced seed cooldown. So their opponents are starved for that camp for just as long as if they had taken it themselves. Of course, the problem with Diablo dying is even though you got that camp in top lane, you still might lose this bottom keep. Yoon still shelling away on the Odin. Got a lot of damage from Skills as well. Jet Propulsion finds 3. Yoon falling low. Killer Fairy has the Blink heal. Holy Renewal. And Smitty Werbin spooks in. Oh, they don't pull the Entomb. They do pull the Entomb. Okay, Synthesis is so low, though. This is getting weird, friends. I think this Johanna is dead. DED, but it's Brightwing. Oh no, Brightwing! Oh, Brightwing trades for Diablo. Yoon falling very low. Synthesis and Smitty fractions of health bars themselves. And there's no fort to fall back to. Alright. 2 for 1 in favor of red team. They're going to steal away this mercenary camp and, I imagine, secure mid fort as well. Especially with 20s online. But we're working on the spot camp instead. Sure, why not? Fair bit of damage onto the top keep thanks to this catapult. I guess the idea is that you're applying side pressure so once you set up on mid lane, it's a catch-22. That makes sense. I respect it. I didn't understand it at first, but makes perfect sense now. And level 20s on both sides. And we've once again opted for the heroic upgrade, Might of the Scourge this time. Smitty goes... Oh, okay. What are we doing with the spooking? Oh, the Entomb! Valk still has the Hellgate, so they'll get out without any serious trouble. Smitty's the one in trouble now. They're able to get away with the move speed thanks to Brightwing. But, oh, this wave is keeping them dismounted. Red team on the chase. Rift gets the slow onto Skills here. Can anyone take the final bit of CC? They dodge the jet propulsion. Blaze has bunker. They'll drop it here. Smitty still Wraith walking like they've got Wraith walk build. Mercy taking a lot of damage here. Or dealing a lot of damage, I should say. Kind of the opposite of taking damage. Well, perhaps healing is the opposite of taking damage. Yeah. We can wax poetic about this later. Because of those trades in favor, those resource trades in favor of red team, they're going to have an early lead on this objective. Mercy staying out of vision on the flank here, just to bribe that camp away. Now that blue has taken control of the objective, I don't know how easy it's going to be for them to step back up. Although, level 20 hammer kind of goes burr. Oh my god, the precision strike! Great, blinded by the light. Yoon trying to chase down Mercy, but they're getting fried by the lightning breath. They're going to fall here. Oh my gosh. Valkyrie falling very low. There's the takedown. Rift down below 500 HP. 39 and 40. So the Arcane Punisher goes in favor of red team. Top keep went down as well, thanks to that bribed mercenary. So in the end, oh, Smitty trying to get aggressive here. Synthesis will get the jump over. I have to assume mid keep lives through this, but top keep falling, definitely still a great trade for red team. Of course, this is how it looked last block. Red team in game 2 took a convincing lead, but it all comes down to those late game swings. Bot keep for red team is very low. So if our blue team managed to secure a convincing, perhaps full 5-hero wipe, they could march straight through bot and get onto the core. Especially with big red button, they've got lots of siege damage available to themselves. Someone's going to have to deal with this catapult. Yeah, the macro pressure from the double precision strike, precision barrage. Oh, Rift in deep finds the huge jet propulsion! Smitty turns around with the Drain Hope. Valk taking a lot of damage. Blinded by the light once again from Synthesis. But Smitty ends up taking so much damage in all of these engagements. Another Bruiser Camp ushers in another catapult. And with more than one showing, that sets up red team. Oh my god, the Entomb lands onto 2, followed up by the Blessed Shield, but it's Johanna who dies first. 2 for 1 in favor of the blue team. They're gonna have to kite away from Artemis, and Diablo will respawn. So in the end, it's kind of like a 1-for-1. The experience is not even, but as far as a power play is concerned, nothing doing. Can they catch the Diablo? I don't think they can. And now they're kind of setting themselves up for another massive jet propulsion flank from Rift. Yeah, setting up the vanilla push into the Sergeant Hammer, not gonna work out so well. So despite that teamfight victory, blue team unable to secure any meaningful progress towards mid-fort or any of the keeps. Bot lane continues to push in. I'm going to go ahead and assume that's Mercy precision striking it on cooldown. And now we've got a pretty heavy positional and vision advantage for Team 4. Yeah, skills still showing back at the core. Valkyrie has gone unscouted, and they go onto the Johanna first. Since this is taking so much damage here. Did we go for Giant Slayer? Yeah, we went for Giant Killer. Okay, very cool. Yoon pops the trait. Oh my god, Smitty. Already down below 2,000 HP. What'd they go at level 1? Fealty? Yeah. But there aren't enough minions to make it matter. One catapult on core now. And this footsie battle is favoring the red team. Yoon will pop it. There's the Hellgate in. Smitty catches 3 with the Entomb, but it doesn't. Oh, great! Valkyrie gets into the bunker just in time. Yoon falling low here, but they're going to be able to get the takedown onto Diablo, as well as Sergeant Hammer. Still 3 alive for the red team, but I don't think they're going to be able to secure these last 9 objectives. With that said, the blue base is on fire. Rift is going to finish off this keep if they can. I think they're going to do it with the catapult and the wave. And a Lucio. Like, this is another keep. Great precision strike. Can Synthesis stop them? No, Blessed Shield isn't for another 15 seconds. So that's not going to matter. Ugh, and this Frozen Punisher is pushing into a fort. What a feels bad moment. So even in death, the red team trades up, securing mid-keep and trading it likely just for top fort. And just like that, red team back up to full fighting force. Mercy continuing to apply the map pressure. The global Nova. The macro Nova. Oh, Valkyrie rooted here. Okay, they've still got the high 5. They'll pop Soul Shield. 4 shielding for the blue team, falling very low. There's the Blessed Shield. Catches the Lucio. The chains catch 2. Rift does not connect with their jet propulsion. There's the Hellgate onto Yoon! Oh no, push back into the team! I don't think the Tychus makes it out. A great stranded by the light, but it's not enough. Jed C falling very low. The blind can't get the takedown. Flashlight from Johanna. Not enough damage. Oh, a huge snipe. It looks like there's the takedown. Smitty Werbin a little too late on this rotation. Are they going to be able to get the rest of their team out to safety? It looks like that Entomb will stall red a little bit. But red just want to stop blue from getting back to their core. The catapults are mounting. Valkyrie still mounted. Smitty lands the Drain Hope. Big chunk of HP gone. But with Giant Killer, yeah, that's so much damage. And Rift continues to chase skills. Skills? Oh, that's a lot of damage, man. Oh, that Kel'Thuzad damage is no joke. Oh, Rift will not be denied. Great Unstoppable enables the grab onto Kel'Thuzad, the core taking damage from catapults on all sides, and that should likely do it for game number 2. I say as Sergeant Hammer dies. Oh no! 24%. That's not 100 to 0. I mean, bot keep fell. The Boa Constrictor tightens, but I have to wonder if red team couldn't have finished the game there. All right, Smitty starting up the camp. I'm quite confident that Valkyrie... Oh, Valkyrie hasn't seen it. Okay. But they see it now. Big damage from the Leoric, however. and they'll be able to steal away the Bruiser camp. Is that going to be enough for them to secure a keep? I don't know that it is. Sergeant Hammer's already respawning. Like, they just can't catch a break on the side of blue team. The macro pressure, right? This is the cost of losing those early game punishers. They have to deal with catapults on their core constantly. Another objective spawning here in mid. Mortar Punisher. There are no more side buildings for consolation prizes. Smitty Werbin, doesn't catch any in the Entomb. That is a rough heroic to not have available. Smitty booped away here. Skills, looks for the combo, does not connect. A lot of damage onto Yoon. They're pushed into the enemy team here. Lightning Breath pops off, but oh my gosh, Synthesis and Valkyrie both falling very low. They'll trade. Rift is so low in this thing. Smitty will fall. Killer Fairy, stood too close to the Sergeant Hammer, and there are catapults on blue core already. This is it. This is the final push for our red team. Man, these late game fights have been really back and forth, but Bunker from Rift has been everything that red needs to survive. 11%, and John Cena hasn't even arrived. There's the precision strike, and John Cena beats his chest despite having done nothing to help red team. So, I don't know, kind of a little stolen glory here. Yada yada. Let's get out of the game. Let's take a look at these teams. Let's update the scoreboard. All right, it's official. Red team is not cursed. Excellent. And we can check in our post-game stats as well. What do we have? Of course, Nova, top experience contribution in the entire lobby. That just makes sense. Nova is well known as a macro hero. In all seriousness, I think Mercy using Precision Strike on waves as much as they did was a very impactful part of keeping red team at worst in a neutral position. 10 deaths on Valkyrie, and you'd hardly even know it. Most of those occurring when the Soul Stone was complete. And Artemis on the hammer dealing so much freaking damage. We can attribute that to this build. Larger splash at 1 with advanced artillery. Combine that with giant killer at 16 and ultra capacitors at 20, and you have one mean damage queen. Yep, I'm going to stick with that one. I'm not going to change that one post. Print it, folks. Smitty had just a little too much trouble getting into the fight above half HP. Mercy and Artemis both poking the Leoric down, and so the W build Leoric really wants to be able to stand and deliver and start at a full HP pool, because that's where you really get a lot of benefit from the 40 armor. Unfortunately, Sergeant Hammer and Nova always have other ideas. So there you have it. That was the block. I'm going to check my spreadsheet here to see when the next block is supposed to start. It's supposed to start right now! Okay, so I'm once again going to step away briefly to get some more water, but we'll be into our final block coming up shortly. Stay tuned. It's our last 2-game block of the evening. Should be lots of fun.